written in Greek by the only Roman emperor who was also a philosopher, without any intention of it being published. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius offer a remarkable series of challenging spiritual reflections and exercises developed as the emperor struggled to understand himself and make sense of the universe. 5 of the main themes of this book are change, death and the shortness of life, the role and importance of the directing mind and will, dealing with others and accepting their shortcomings, avoiding the chase for pleasure and fame, and living according to the nature and fully accepting its course. Marcus tells us to embrace change. There's change in all things. You yourself are subject to continual change and some decay, and this is common to the entire universe. This is a great quote because it lets us know that all things come to an end, no matter how much we try to change or avoid it. And ultimately, in the end, all you can do is enjoy your time and spend it doing meaningful things that fulfill you. Remember how long you've been putting this off, how many times you've been giving a period of grace by the gods and not used it. It is high time now for you to understand the universe of which you are a part, and the governor of that universe, of whom you constitute an emanation, and there will be a limit circumscribed to your time. If you do not use it to clear away the clouds, it will be gone, and you will be gone, and the opportunity will not return. Marcus often refers to the directing mind. This, simply put, is considered to be the rational part of the human being that is capable of making decisions based on reason and virtue. What is my directing mind to me? What am I turning into now? What use am I making of it? Is it drained of intelligence? Is it divorced and broken off from society? Is it so interfused and welded to the flesh that it sways with its tides? He bears in mind, too, the kinship of all rational beings, and that caring for all men in accordance with man's nature, but that nevertheless he should not hold opinions for all, but only of those who live their lives in agreement with nature. He will constantly remind himself what sort of people they are who do not live their lives, what they are like both at home and abroad, by night and by day. They are polluting company they keep. So he disregards even the praise of such men. These are people who are not even satisfied with themselves. We must take into our reckoning not only that life is expended day by day, and the remaining balance diminishes, but also this further consideration. If we live longer, there is no guarantee that our mind will likewise retain that power to comprehend and study the world, which contributes to our experience of things divine and human. If dementia sets in, there will be no failure of such faculties as breathing, feeding, matter. Before these go, the earlier extinction is one of one's proper use of oneself, one's accurate assessment of the graduations of duty, one's ability to analyze impressions, one's understanding of whether the time has come to leave this life. These and all other matters which wholly depend on trained calculation. So we must have a sense of urgency, not only for the ever closer approach of death, but also because our comprehension of the world and of our ability to pay proper attention will fade before we do. We should also attend to things like these, observing that even the incidental effects of the processes of nature have their own charm and attraction. Take the baking of bread. The loaf splits open here and there, and those very cracks is, in one way, a failure of the baker's profession. Somehow catch the eye and give particular stimulus to our appetite. Figs, likewise, burst open at full maturity, and in olives ripened on the tree. The very proximity of decay lends a special beauty to the fruit. Similarly, the ears of corn nodding down to the ground, the lion's puckered brow, the foam gushing at the boar's mouth, and much else besides. Looked at in isolation, these things are far from lovely, but their consequence on the processes of nature enhances them and gives them attraction. So any man with feeling and deeper insight For the working of the whole will find some pleasure in almost every aspect of their disposition, including the incidental consequences. Such a man will take no less delight in living the snarl of wild animals than in the imitative representations of painters and sculptors. He will see a kind of bloom and fresh beauty in an old woman or an old man, and he will be able to look with sober eyes on the seductive charm of his own slave boys. Not all can share this conviction, only one who has developed a genuine affinity for nature and her works. For him there will be many such receptions. And that's a wrap on meditations. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my free Notion template for logging your habits. I'll leave that below, and see you in the next one.